Why would it be controversial, do you think?
Oh, I have seen the exhibit, and let's put it this way: it's not. It is certainly not classical art. It's very, very modern, very challenging. Art and beauty, I guess, is in the eyes of the beholder. And in this particular instance, I was not overwhelmed. I was underwhelmed with what I saw. However, I'm told that when people visit the museum and see this exhibit elsewhere, they go absolutely bonkers over it. So it'll be interesting.
Let me ask you about the current situation with your employees.
Yes.
What do you think are the issues involving that? And are you concerned about that, about cutting back?
Of course. As the mayor, I have a great deal of affection for all the folks who work for the city of Las Vegas. They're almost part of my family. I've been up here close to 10 years now and know many of them by name. I send birthday cards to all of them. I socialize with them while we're in the elevator. And these are tough times. They're challenging times. And my goal and my desire is to keep everybody employed and not have any kind of cutbacks and not have any kind of layoffs. But the truth of the matter is we have to be realistic. And finally, we have reached a point where our revenue does not match our expenditures. And the bulk of our budget is for salaries and benefits for city employees, as well as our contribution to Metro. So there's going to come a time that unless we do something about it, we're not going to be able to meet those challenges. And there are choices that people have to make. They either will make some compromise or concession, whatever you want to call it, or they will pay the price, unfortunately, and the price is losing one's job. We're very similar to the private sector here in the sense that there are layoffs taking place up and down the strip. It breaks my heart, but that's a fact of life all over the country. People are experiencing that type of economic situation. And the bottom line, from my perspective, is if you keep your job, I do just about anything to keep my job. And there may be the need for a little personal sacrifice for a year or two in order to accomplish that. If not, then the chips fall where they may.
What's the main cause to this crisis? Would you say?
I got it. I'm probably the oldest guy who ever lived right now, and I have never seen anything like this in my lifetime. I did not, thank God, go through the Great Depression, but my dad did, and he would tell me stories about sitting in his law office back in Philadelphia with other lawyers waiting for the phone to ring while they were playing cards and not practicing law. But as all things, the economy came back, and he was successful, and thank goodness we did not have to experience that. I think people just have to weather this one out. No one knows what's creating this storm. They put Band-Aids out there. They think that they're going to be able to, that they're tourniquets, which will stop a hemorrhaging. It's a Band-Aid, and it really hasn't done anything. It hasn't even stopped a little bit of bleeding. So these are challenging times, but every time we think we see the bottom, it goes a little bit further down. I believe the politicians who are running for president, they say the American people are very special people and will be able to survive this. I really believe that, but I think we have to change the way we're living. We have to suck it up.
How do you think that the current loss of availability of credit is going to affect these projects that are planned? I mean,
very interesting.
Union Park.
It's a good question. We have the Ruvo Brain Institute. First of all, we have that which surrounds Union Park, and those are successful projects. The World Market Center, but even they, in responding to the economy, have changed the date of one of their conventions. The discount mall is an interesting barometer of what's happening. I will go by there. I have my own way of measuring public response to reactions. I go to Costco to see how people are feeling, and I go over to the premium discount mall and see whether or not people have shopping bags. And there's still tons of people out there buying, notwithstanding what's happening here. So I believe that they're successful. I know that the Mulaski Water Authority building is fully leased at probably the one of the more healthy rental bases in the entire community here. So those are all doing well. The Ruvo Brain Institute continues to have meetings with wonderful academic institutions which will be affiliating with it. So it looks like they're on the right track. I have been told that the Performing Arts Center, the Smith Performing Arts Center, will break ground before the end of this year. So there's a degree of optimism with them. I know that the Reynolds Foundation has been funding the plans for a wonderful urban park down there, which will be called Symphony Park, with great public art. On the other hand, I've spoken to Robert Zarnigan regarding the Jewelry Mart. He's a very good guy and a wonderful businessman, and he uses the phrase that he had to take a time out here in order to do his value engineering. I had not heard that phrase before, but basically it's looking over the costs and seeing where the money's going to come from, because that's a very important project to have that jewelry center in the downtown. I heard from Rick Kaufman, who is associated with Charlie Palmer. Charlie's going to be building a 400-room exquisite boutique hotel, with his restaurants being basically the flagship of them. And he wants to talk to me, so he may be addressing, he has not told me this, the potential of the credit. But we're moving forward. As a city, we're moving forward. We're in negotiations concerning the trade of land, where a new city hall could be built for a location at Union Park, where there'll be a 1,000+ room casino. So business as usual, and I've been thinking about that. As a matter of fact, it's funny, I ruminate sometimes when I have little to do, and I was thinking about these tough times, but we were prepared to face them, thank God, as a city. This is not something that just happened to be addressed by the city out of nowhere. We've been working diligently for the past 2 years, and salary freezes, position freezes, justification committees to fill positions in the city, and there was a discussion between Mayor Bloomberg and Mayor Koch from the former mayor of New York, and they were talking